Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
If I'm being honest, it's easier to lie than to go and break a promise, go and make you cry. It ain't like I don't like lying next to you. I always had a hard time with the truth.
Welcome to the Rock Review. I'm thrilled to have a guy that took me 2 years to get on the show. Hailing from Southern Illinois, singer, songwriter, guitarist, Kendell Marvel. Kendell, it's great to have you on the show, man.
Glad to be here, my friend.
And the timing is right with your amazing new album that recently came out, and it's Solid Gold Sounds. And you and I were talking about that great Harley you got on there, too.
Yeah, it's a 63 Panhead of Dan Auerbach, yeah.
And you're working with Dan with his new label, and that's got to be some fun with the Easy Eye sounds.
Man, it's just having two worlds collide, you know, from the Black Keys to a country guy like me. It was, it was pretty phenomenal.
Well, you know, listen to your album too, Kendell. It's like so many great songs on there, and particularly the one you opened up with, but it's like all the tracks, you know, and it's interesting too that you started as a songwriter. In fact, you started writing songs at the age of 10.
I did, yeah.
And then when you came to Nashville, you came here to be an artist, but ended up being a songwriter.
I did, yeah. I actually wrote my first hit song the day that I moved here in 1998. I wrote a song called Right Where I Need to Be for Gary Allen and with a buddy of mine named Casey Beathard.
Yeah, and that did pretty well.
Yeah, it was a top 5 hit, and I thought, man, this is easy.
Well, you became known as kind of, you know, a secret weapon in Nashville, you know, when people were looking for the great songs. You know, just like with Jake Owens, Chris Stapleton, Black Shelton, George Strait, Leanne Womack. All of these people were coming to your well for the songs. And so it's interesting now, within the past few years, you came out with your last album in 2017, but it's like now with your new album that you're making the transition to artist, which is what you came to Nashville for.
Sure, and I still write songs, you know, but it's just music changed so much, country music in general, that, you know, there came a point that I was just like, I just don't want to write those kind of songs. You know, I'm too old to be writing about tailgates and bonfires and girls in shorts, you know. I just couldn't make myself do it, so it seemed like a great. And then Stapleton broke, and there was some other cool stuff going on with Sturgill Simpson and Tyler Childers, stuff like that. I said, man, it's a perfect time to make a record, you know, and it was, yeah.
Well, you know, and your songs, you know, what I like about them, Kendell, is the depth and the emotion, particularly when you're performing your own songs and everything, too. I got to bring this up, you know, coming out of Southern Illinois, close to Galatia, it's like, you know, your dad was a coal miner.
Sure was, yeah.
And so at the age of 10, he started taking you out to perform at that age, right?
He did, yeah. He used to take me to all the bars and honky-tonks around there, and he would get free beer, and I'd get tips and pickled eggs or whatever they had behind the bar. You know?
Well, you know, and there's a lot of, you and I both know there's a lot of little clubs all through that area.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could circulate and play, and particularly a kid as yourself at that age.
Right. Especially when you're playing for free.
Oh, totally.
I loved it, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, and I got to bring this up, too. You were on the Lou Hobbs show at one point.
I was, yeah, and I think it was 1986-ish, somewhere around there. Yeah, and that was the first time I was ever on TV. I'd be scared to see what it looked like, you know, now.
Well, you know, and that was back, you know, when Lou was big on KFVS 12, airing all the time, and he was breaking a lot of acts.
He was very kind to me.
Well, it's so amazing. I got to bring this up, too. You've been doing a residency at the Exit Inn, and tell us about this.
We started that when we cut our first record, Low Down and Lonesome. Keith Gaddis made that record with me, and we was just brainstorming on a way to get me known as an artist rather than just a songwriter in town. That's where everybody knows me here in Nashville. And he said, I think we should start doing a show, you know, a monthly show somewhere. And then somebody suggested doing it at X&N, which is kind of a rock and roll joint.
Totally.
And yeah, it's been going over great. We've been doing it for a long time now. I just got my name on the Wall of Fame, actually. So
really?
Yeah, that was
well, you know, and
exciting.
I got to bring this up too. You know, before we came in the studio, Kendell, we were talking about how sometimes you get surprise guests that pop up on stage.
Every time, yeah. That's kind of the cool thing about it too. We've had everybody from Alison Krauss and Jamie Johnson, Brothers Osborne, Randy Houser, Jake Owen, to the Foo Fighters show up and play.
Wow.
Yeah, Gary Allen. I mean,
and Tanya Tucker.
Tanya Tucker, Cody Jinks. I mean, it's just a big wide gamut of really cool people.
So at any point in time, you never know who's going to show up at your gig.
I never know who's going to show up most of the time. So
does your band end up just backing them up?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a pretty good band, and you know, the ones we know are coming, we'll say, hey, tell us something you want to, you know, cover song you want to play, and they'll let us know. But sometimes we just wing it. You know?
That is well, you know, and also, you know, Brothers Osborne, you've written songs for them.
I have, yeah.
So many of those artists you've written songs for or with.
Sure, yeah. I love that. You know, that's one reason they probably come out is we have that camaraderie. But I love Brothers Osborne, man.
Oh, so do I.
Them guys are probably they're the best in the business.
Just solid, man. I just love listening to their songs.
Yeah, we've been out touring with them this fall, you know, with them and Chris Stapleton.
Well, and I got to bring that up too, the Grammy that Chris Stapleton got for the song you wrote.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they sent me one. Spelled my name wrong on it, of course. I sent it back, haven't returned it yet, but I'll get it, I'm sure.
How does that feel coming out of tiny little Southern Illinois and then having a Grammy with Chris Stapleton?
Well, I mean, obviously it was super flattering and very exciting for us, but, you know, I was more excited for Chris. I mean, you know, I've known Chris since 2001 when he moved here, and to see what's happened with his career is just, you know, mind-blowing. You know, you go out to we've been playing these arenas, you know, 20,000 people, and it's just, everybody else is seeing now what we always saw. You know? So,
well, you know, and I think, you know, just like with your own voice and with Chris's, you know, it's bringing back a uniqueness. You know, when you see Chris perform out live, it's powerful.
It's very powerful.
You know, it
sounds just like his records too, which
is
a lot of people don't do anymore.
You know, and I think that's great. You know, because I've seen him perform out, and it's like going, wow, man, that just hits you right in the heart.
Oh yeah, he's a one of a kind for sure.
Well, now you and I were talking too, because we're guitar guys. You've been a Gibson guy for a day or two.
I have, yeah.
And including the one you're playing now that, you know, did not have a hole in it when you started playing it.
No, it did not. It does now, though.
And Gibson's even set you up with one that you're using on the road.
Yeah, they give me a J200 to play. I've got some old J200s, but I don't necessarily like to fly and stuff with them, you know, since they're vintage. And I've had them since I was a kid. But, yeah, I'm a big Gibson fan.
Well, do you think this one's going to end up being like Trigger eventually, or it's going to have, like, you know, worn all the way through the braces?
It's well on its way, yeah.
You're working there, man.
Yeah, I always tell people that's a bullet wound, a bullet hole, you know.
As long as it stopped it, right?
Exactly.
You know, I've played a few gun and knife clubs. I know how it is. Sometimes you want your guitar, you know, maybe a solid body.
That's right.
Just in case you have to clear the stage.
You never know. You never know.
Well, it's incredible. I want to make sure our viewers know, you know, with your website and everything, Kendell, where can they go to keep up with your tours, with everything you're doing at Exit In, and also with your music? I know you're going to have some more videos coming out from this album as well.
Yep, KendellMarvel.com. You know, you can find out all the stuff there and all my social media platforms. I don't know the hashtags or the handles on them, but they're out there. They're easy to find.
I'll tell you what, you look very comfortable on that Harley. And I know you're a Harley guy like myself.
Yeah, I've ridden Harleys my whole life. My dad, you know, I grew up around motorcycles.
Yeah.
And, he had an old shovel head back when I was a kid, and I remember he had a kickstart only, so he said, when you can start it, you could ride it. So I was about 10 or 11 before I could start it, and he had to let me ride it then.
It was done.
Yeah,
it was
I
on
it a
then.
few times, but it was all right.
Yeah, you know, before I got into the Harleys, I had a kickstart Hondas, and it's like, man, that's the only way we got around.
That's right.
You know, you were out trying to get gasoline to keep your motorcycle going.
Sure.
Well, congratulations. It's an amazing album. However you consume music, whether you get the, you know, digital or whatever, I think you probably need to get the whole album and come out and see Kendell live in concert. It is solid gold sounds, and I'm telling you what, this is an amazing album, and if you're looking for something different that's going to really, you know, grab your ears, grab your heart, I think you're going to love this album. There's some rockin' sounds on there, and there's some hardcore country.
Yeah, buddy.
But you keep it fresh.
Well,
and with your lyrics and you know, you sing it like you mean it. I think that honesty comes through.
Yeah, people can see through phoniness, I think. You know,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and obviously you're not doing bad at the Exit In either.
Oh, it's a great gig. Please come out to that. That's a fun show.
Now, do you also test out some new songs there, like before you put them on albums?
We do all kinds of stuff there. Yeah, I mean, we fly by the seat of our pants.
Now, you've got a special name for that also, right?
It's called the Honky Tonk Experience. Yeah.
Kendell Marvel's Honky Tonk Experience.
Exactly.
I kind of like that, man.
Yeah, it's got a little ring.
You may need a T-shirt for that too.
Well, we got them. Oh,
do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll get you one.
That is awesome. I'll tell you what, great new album. Come out and see him live, and he's going to be on tour again, going all the way into 2020. This album is amazing. You're going to love it. All the singles on it too. Look for some new videos also. It is Kendell Marvel. Solid gold sounds. Thanks for watching the Rock and Review.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones Show.